Um, what else? I think, should we talk about the Tony Ferguson thing?
Yeah, well, he was talking, I guess, to both of us, but he was talking to you in the one part. So, yeah, go ahead.
I don't have anything to say. That's the thing. Like, I think
I love Tony. Look,
that's the thing. I like Tony.
I love Tony. My biggest problem is this, and this is not anything against Tony, but when he's saying that, Oliveira broke after the first round, it's like maybe he felt something in that Oliveira went for that arm bar and thought he had it and was upset. We'll say that, it was the end of the round and he didn't get the submission when he thought he was getting the submission when the referee comes in. I've had those situations where a fighter thinks you're stopping the fight and then you got to tell him, nope, that's the end of the round. And you can see that's like, but I don't think that's breaking. That's not breaking. There was no break in Charles Olivera, and he proved that by what he did in the next two rounds. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I don't have anything really to say. I think people are expecting me to like go hard in the paint on him, but I have nothing to say. Realistically, like Tony, when Tony beat me, I was exactly where you are now. You lost 2 fights. I fought you. I had lost 2 fights that I felt like I didn't deserve to lose. And you lost those fights. He lost to Justin Gaethje, hands down lost to Justin Gaethje. And then he lost to Charles Olivera. I have nothing like negative to say in terms of there's no doubt you're a good fighter. But you're at 37 years old, 36 years old, something 36 or 37. You're at the same place that I was when I fought you. And I see the differences in you. Maybe you don't see them. I mean, as a fighter, I see them in him. I saw it after the Justin fight. I saw it during the Justin fight. I saw it now in this fight. You're not the same fighter anymore. And it's sad to say, but it comes to grips. You have to the reality of it is that you won't be champion. And it's sad. It's sad to say that, because I know I've been there. I was there.
He's been champion. I got to give him, he's been champion. That interim title.
I agree. But I'm
championship.
saying, what I meant was he's not getting back
again.
There. Yeah, he's not getting back there.
All right.
It's not going to happen. And that's the point. The point was when I fought Benson, I was this close to getting that title shot. I was already offered the title shot. It didn't happen. But the reality was after I lost to Bobby Green, it was, okay, it's done. There's no way I'm going to be champion. Like we figured this out. I figured it out. I knew mentally it wasn't there. And when you said earlier about like when you, as you get older, you don't like being hit. It's something that just happens. Like you don't like the feel anymore. Honestly, I've said this before. I want to say it was before my Patricky fight. I literally was in the back. We were in the loading area, and Patricky had walked out, and I was going to walk out next. And it was just, I got that vibe in the back I'd never had before, almost like anxiety. And it was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I normally was always the vibe and the feel of, I can't wait to go. I was like, hit my gloves. I was always ready to go, shaking my arms out. I was somebody in the back that fucking just loved the feeling and the vibe of fighting. I loved it. That fight was a reality check for me in terms of I was in the back and getting ready to watch him walk out. And I was like, I started getting like nervous and in anxiety. And I never had that feeling before. And that's when I realized, and I had already known in training that I didn't like getting hit. I wasn't liking it anymore. It was like, you hit me. And I was like, well, that hurt a lot more than it should have. And it just, that made it a lot easier for me just not to want to fight anymore. Tony, to me, I feel like is in that area now where he's not seeing the things come. He's getting hit with shots that he wouldn't normally get hit with. His activity is not what it used to be. It's not, I mean, like, it's easier to say that now because he's coming off 2 losses. If people keep winning, no one says shit. And that's the hardest part. I like Tony Ferguson. People are like, "Oh, you're just mad because he beat you." No, I don't give 2 shits. In 10 years,
matter. That's called competition.
Yeah, but in 10 years, I don't give 2 shits. If I run into Tony on the street, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" I'm gonna try to be social and be his friend. I give 2 fucking shits about like any of that stuff. So it has nothing to do with him beating me. It has to do with the fact is that he is getting older. He's coming off 2 losses. The UFC, my point was, the UFC will not do him any favors. They won't when it comes contract time.
They can't.
And that's the point. And that was my argument. And when we talked about him getting cut, I said, look, let's just be honest. With COVID and all the situations that are going on, they don't have fans. They're going to start cutting the fat. And the fat is the older fighters. He's in that area now, in that gray area of like, are you going to be the guy? I hope he doesn't. We both hope he doesn't. You like him. He's used to train at your gym. You like him as a person.
I love the guy. I think he's great. You know, he's fun to be around. He is crazy. I'll give him that. But that's just his personality. But he's a positive person.
Yeah.
It's someone that, you know, you gravitate towards the positivity that he has. And, you know, I know his dad and everything. And just a guy you want to see win. But when you look at what's occurring, and look, I will admit, he's fighting the top of the food chain when it comes to the guys that he just lost to. But, and I do think, I'm being honest about this, I think that he's one of those guys that is affected by the no crowd. I think that he got energized, and just the crowd and just the energy and the sound of him when he would do stuff, even when he was getting hit, it just made him go.
Yeah.
And that's not there right now. And so, you know, it may be that, you know, when the crowd kind of comes back, maybe we'll see a different Tony, and he'll come back to that energized guy that is able to walk through things. But right now, if you're the UFC, you got to look and say, I got to give the guy another top guy. When I keep him, I can't put him against, you know, my lower guys. That's not going to work for me. That's not going to do promotion any good. And they're looking to see what's best for the promotion. So, you know, it could be, again, that Michael Chandler fight, possibly. I don't know what they're doing with Chandler, you know, but it's a matter of who do you put Tony against? You know, it's a tough one right now.
I don't think Chandler was a good fight for him.
I don't either. And I know there's a speed difference here. And that's really going to cause, you know, I thought the Oliveira fight showed what a faster fighter will do. You know?
Yeah.
It's just going to be trouble. And if Oliveira out-wrestled Tony, and I was surprised that he out-wrestled him the way he did, because he made it look easy, Chandler will out-wrestle them.
Oh, for sure. No, for sure. There's no doubt that Chandler was going to out-wrestle him. But was Chandler going to be able to sustain, like, try to do damage from the top, because Chandler likes to get busy on the top position of ground and pound? Would he be able to do that without getting caught in a submission or without being cut and things like that? But after what I just saw,
the cut part, that's always available.
Yeah,
and I love Tony's submission game. I love the way he does his darces. No one has submitted Chandler. He doesn't submit, and I've seen him in deep submissions.
Yeah.
He's got the same mentality as Tony, and that's one of the things that people love about Tony is, you know, that arm bar. Look at that arm bar was nasty.
Yeah.
That freaking thing, and it was going to go if there was time, because the body can only take so much as far as pounds per square inch of pressure with that elbow going the wrong way. Luckily, the time, you know, came to an end before it happened, but, you know, I've seen, you know, Chandler in the same situations where he has not submitted, and he's just taken what I know is a painful submission and gotten himself out of it. It wasn't the end of the round. So I don't know. It's a tough, you know, go for, if you're the UFC, who do you put Tony against?